let me go back. For AGI, this is indeed a bounce. If you see here, this used to be a resistance, right? It had a support right here, and then there was a gap down that happened, and then there was a wick formed right at this level. See that? And then now, what happened here is that 2 days in a row that became a resistance area, and then we managed to go beyond that. So we had a breakout, but it is revisiting that level again. You know, in my previous video, I would always draw this. On a breakout, it goes up and it retests your previous resistance and then create a brand new support right there. And it is somewhat forming that kind of pattern over here. After a breakout, it goes back to your previous resistance, creating a new support. And with the green engulfing candlestick, we are looking at a big possibility that we are going to move higher by tomorrow or this week. So let us see how far are we from the maximum potential of this stock. Okay, see that? Well, overall, this is already halfway. Yeah, it's already halfway. So if you're aiming for 100% gain or 50% gain, you're now well, your level at the moment, this is 9.63. If you're to go back to the previous high or all-time high here, around 1627 area, from where we are at right now, this could be a gain of 67%. Okay, let's take a look at MWIDE. Okay, MWIDE over here, very good bounce here. As you can see, it just managed to touch the MA20 line, and with that wick present in our candlestick last Friday, that for me is a confirmation of a bounce. So also just normal volume. Wow, there's foreign buying, so I think that's a strong one. And overall, if you're to look at it, imagine this. So if I'm to pick a stock for tomorrow, this should be one of them. Next one. It's MPI. MPI, I'd say trade with caution. I'd even say you might consider staying away for now, because look at that. We already broke the MA20 line, and there's a significant volume, so there could be a continuation of the drop here. I'd have to say maybe we can check the price action around this key level over here, 3.86. And the reason why I'm saying that is if you look to the left, there are different occasions when that key level is tested. See that? So previous resistance became a support, and we managed to break out of that. Chances are we are going to retest that. We'll see if it will stabilize first and continue moving up. In some occasions, it can also go down. Okay, so 386, that is the area I'm looking at. But since we're still very far at the moment, it could take 2 to 3 days before it retests that, unless we have a very big candlestick tomorrow and retest this area right away. Let's take a look at TEL. Oh, TEL looks like we're bouncing, right? Looks like this is a bounce. Look at the volume here. Significant volume. So that could, let's just check if there is again good volume by tomorrow, because that could mean some form of stabilization at that level before it goes up again. Yeah, this one too has to do that. Otherwise, it's going to be on a critical level again, because look at this. When it bounced, its peak here is much lower than the peak over here. So it somehow created a lower high, right? A lower high. And so if it breaks this key level, possible support at this area, and if it breaks that, it will create a lower low, which of course are basic components of a downtrend. But sometimes if this sustains, then that's already a bounce at that area. So we'll see, because there's a green candlestick last Friday. So maybe that's already an indication that we could be recovering. Wow, interesting. We're for SECB, we are currently at we're sitting at a resistance area. Also, we are at the overbought level. Look at that. We're outside the 70 area, my threshold here for my RSI. So if two things can happen again here. Okay, if you're to look at the bigger picture here, we have been on a sideways movement for a long time, and we're starting to recover. And if you're going to look at the bigger picture, we are still at a very promising key level over here. Now, in case it breaks out of that resistance area, then you have a continuation and possibly some more lift in the price. However, if we have again another red day by tomorrow, that simply means that we're having a difficult time breaking this resistance level. And if it does give us a red candlestick, chances are we might see some breakdown in the price, and it could possibly revisit your previous resistance levels around 112.61. See this one too. Okay, so it might revisit that area, but we're just looking forward for a breakout here. So if it breaks out of this area, that's an interesting move, because definitely we're looking into some more movements up higher and higher in the coming days. What about GTCAP? GTCAP, interesting. So what I am going to do here for GTCAP is I am going to create a support right at this key level. Look at that. Each time, 3 days in a row, that key area has been touched, and then we managed to bounce right away. Okay, so some form of consolidation at this key level. So this could just simply mean a temporary bounce, and we might see some more movements going up by tomorrow. So let us see. Look at that. A lot of room for growth if you're looking at the bigger picture, which means holding on to your position at a much longer time horizon. So if you have that kind of outlook, I'd say this key level is still a healthy area, especially when we're talking about another major company in the country. Meralco, okay, Meralco overall is still, a very stable company, but this has been having a difficult time recovering. So look at this. So since August, the stock has somewhat displayed some signs of recovery, right? So this was the uptrend channel. However, it broke down. The price or the support experienced some breakdown in the price. So what I can say here is, there's a cliche or a common line that people would always say, don't catch a falling knife. And that is currently what's happening for Meralco. So all we needed to do is find, number one, let us see if it will go to the oversold area. And once it does that, we also check out the key levels here. But for now, I can already plot some key areas to possibly check, see if it'll touch that level by tomorrow. And the reason why I'm saying that is if you look to the left, there's a resistance here. There's also an area here. So note that it's an area. So it could be slightly higher or lower. This one too. Imagine that. So there are several points here that would validate why this key area could become the next support. But definitely we have to check first. Maybe it will do this first. It will stabilize first while this price goes oversold. So it can also do that. Stabilize here and then momentum dies down. All selling pressure starting to uh, decline. Then once you're already in the oversold and then it creates a strong support right at this area, then time to enter. Overall, this is indeed a good buy for Meralco if it will create some stabilization around the 277. Buy the dips, guys. It's definitely the payoff will come in the future. Double Dragon. Okay, personally, I have a position here, and I think this too is on a bounce. Let us see if we'll have more volume by tomorrow. But definitely 1447 to 1470. Those are still healthy areas to add more. Okay, look at that. Used to be a support right here. And with Double Dragon, of course, expanding their projects to REIT, a lot of big potentials for this stock. All right, the next one is PHA. PHA had retraced. Let us see. If I'm to plot a Fibonacci retracement here, I will plot it to the lowest point and then drag my mouse up to here. If I only plotted it up to my uh, body here at the bottom, then I could only put I'll put it at the body as well at the top. So body to body. If I add wick, then I should also add the wick. But notice here, this could already mean that we are bouncing. This could be a sign of a bounce at this 0.68 area. If there's a continuation or a validation probably tomorrow, it could start around 0.70 and starts to push the price higher, then definitely that's a good one. Otherwise, two things again, it could stabilize here as well for several days and continue upwards. But definitely, guys, in the event it drops, you know where to find the next possible support. Next could be 0.59 or 0.52. 0.52 is just right very near your MA20. So maybe you could already set your rules that if the price hits 0.59 still tolerable or 0.52 still fine, but the moment we go lower than that, it depends. All depends on your rules, guys. So just make sure you set those before you even engage in any transaction. What about Converge? Converge managed to bounce at the MA20. Look at that very long wick over there. So that was good job for those people who managed to catch it at the MA20 line, so 1540. So I'd say if we are going to, this could already mean some form of a bounce already. So anywhere between 1540 to 1590, like the area where it is at right now, that's already a good time to start accumulating volume. But definitely, I'm still plotting a support at the MA20 line just in case fluctuation might happen tomorrow, and the fluctuation could be in the form of a wick as well. See that? This too, look at that. So at one point, price hits at this level, and then at one point it reached a high of this one. That's why you have a long wick. The next is Globe. Oh, Globe not looking good. We're triggering the lower band. So, not looking good at all. I'm seeing a possibility that it could drop even more around the 1886 area. So maybe stay on the sidelines first for Globe. Look for another stock to engage in. This one for Pure Gold, it managed to move higher, but it did not really pan out very nicely here. So I think I only stayed on this stock for 2 days last week. I know I used my buying power that I got here and I entered it in Double Dragon. So I think I did the right choice here. This stock I think is really going to take some time before it moves up again. The volume is so low right here, as you can see. So it might take some time before it goes up. But if you're able to enter around the support area, this is still a support right here. 42.07, I still look at that as a support. So your call if you're okay to enter or wait for a little while. Cebu Pacific. Cebu Pacific is already a good sign. This is a good sign, guys. A long wick right here is manifestation that we had a bounce at the support level, which is your MA20 line. Okay, so that's your hint. You had a resistance here as well and a resistance here. So indeed, that key level has been respected. So anywhere from 44.99 or 45 to 47 would be a good entry price. Just set an area where you'd like to enter, because for me, this is already a promising level. If you are to look at it, guys, flights already, starting to they're starting to open more flight schedules to the different countries, no, different areas in the country. So I think that's one. So you can, I know there is not much action yet, but definitely if you would like to stay in a stock for a much longer period of time, this could be an accumulation stage for Cebu Pacific if you are to look at it. This one over here, I wonder when is the announcement of, oops, what's this? I know MRC has already filed an application to change their business to a holdings company, right? So that's something that a lot of people are looking forward to. That is why we're having this bullish movement in the past how many weeks. And so I would have to say, if in case it will drop, let's see if it will give us again a chance around the MA20 line. I know a lot of you guys are so interested or so gung-ho in entering the stock right away, but just be extra careful. This stock, a lot of people are already profitable and might be taking some profit. As you can see, while the price is moving higher and higher, your momentum is starting to decline. So we might experience, see that while the price is moving up, there's declining momentum. So in case, hopefully it just touches the 0.48 and continues to move up again. So look at the long-term potential of the stock, but try to haggle, okay? I just see a big possibility that the market will give you a chance around the 0.48. I just do not know exactly if it's going to happen in a span of a day or within the week. So if you want, you can place an order and just let it stay there, and you don't even have to watch the market full time. Just set your buy area. I think that is it. Yeah, let me know if I have not reviewed your stock, so I can prioritize it in tomorrow's episode. But in the meantime, I was able to cover. I sorted this from the highest trade downward, so I was able to cover initially up until Dito, and we started with MBT. Okay, so this was my part one. I also put a link down below, and this is my part two. And we stopped at MRC there. So just check out the video if you have the time to watch them too. In the meantime, guys, if you have not subscribed to my channel, and you want this kind of content, I'm inviting you to hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell and the like, so that YouTube will also discover our channel if you see value in what we are talking about here. Also, if you'd like to show your support to Miss JD, I have a Patreon account. That's where I post my recommended stocks and some of my research, especially in the world of cryptocurrency and the US market. Um, Recently, I'm starting to be more serious in my global trades and investment. So I'm in eToro. Check the link down below if you have not created an account yet and you're interested to trade the global market. Okay. In the meantime, thank you for joining me this evening. Bye bye.